Jā, tas ir kaut kāds savs, zini, kā random. No.
Mi fai ciò, sa che è di... Ой, умираю, чё. Давай kaut kādu tagad šausmīgu. Ko?
Es pēdējo viņam, lai gulē.
Labi.
Jau karturi.
Nu.
Es ieslēdzu streamu, varētu reaktot, bet man iedos, man liekas, to ten.
Nē, tā.
Kā mēs skatījāmies Juice WRLD to sūdu?
Ko?
Man liekas, ka man iedos to ten, copyrightu. Nu, papisīsies streams, ne? Ja skatīšos.
Davai nāk.
Pagaid, sen bija iegāju.
Davai, tad nāk.
Fucking kodu scary. GG. Gribu, lai es neizņēgu fucking.
Yeah.
Top 5.
Number
Jā,
5.
Jā, es jau tāds pirms tam pateicu. 3. Protams, skatīsies?
Jā, pagaidi.
Šos vidīgs vakar iznāca, laikam. Vai šodien?
Vakar.
Nā, šodien iznāca.
Paga.
Tad jau jābūt kaut kam jaunam.
Šā.
Baigi gribas padrāt.
Jā,
Padrāstīs.
Nu.
Preģīgi.
Ilgi pisīsaties.
Es esmu gatavs.
Preģīgi. Ilgi pisīsies.
Davai.
Baigi gribas. Nu.
3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Oh.
You and I fully to deliver. Number 11, Dan General recently caught this alleged ghost on his doorbell cam. First, a living person walks by his home, followed closely by a not-so-living apparition. It's about the same height as the person in front, so it could just be their trailing after image. But still, notice how the phantom stalker actually becomes brighter and gains detail as it steps under the streetlight. The camera also freezes at the 6-second mark, possibly short-circuiting under a surge of paranormal energy. Number 10. This video from New Britain, Connecticut shows that nowhere is safe for kids anymore, not even their own neighborhoods during the day. This
What?
girl is keeping to herself when this gray four-door vehicle pulls up from behind.
That's a
I can see at 1 minute and 18 seconds that the window is down, and the driver is possibly leaning out to say something. The car comes to a complete stop, which is suspicious because she has nothing to offer a passing stranger. A moment later, the girl takes off away from the van, and they speed off in the other direction. According to police, this vehicle looked dirty, like it had been taken down a dirt road many times before. Doors could only be opened from the outside. Number 9.
Number
It's
9.
broad daylight in San Jose, California, when these two men creep into the yard wearing black. One of them has on gloves and a hood. The other doesn't bother with a disguise as they enter the home. It looks like they might be unarmed at first, but 47 seconds into the video is when you first see that one of them is holding a blade. At 1 minute and 2 seconds, he uses it to motion to his friend that he is going upstairs. They check from room to room, not bothering to take anything, and not really searching for valuables, and they quickly find a locked door with people inside, 2 women and a baby. The one with his hood up quickly points out that they are not alone. They look ready to run down the steps and out the door, but then they instead decide to try and break into the room, which is now locked. They again look ready to leave, but at the last second, one of them tries to unsuccessfully kick open the door the final time. Finally, they get too nervous and decide to run away. It's hard to tell if they were here to take items or take lives. They walk around with their blades pointing out, and they don't seem to have a bag to carry anything in, so maybe they were doing this for the sheer thrill of terrifying a family. The fact that one of them didn't bother with a disguise makes me wonder if he had no intentions of leaving any witnesses and just didn't tell his friend. Number 8. A YouTube channel called Charlie Both 313 is driving around the city of Detroit when he comes across a particularly distressing monument. Nailed to the street sign and spilling onto the streets are what appears to be dozens upon dozens of discarded dolls. The larger ones are piled on the bottom, and the smallest ones are up highest. Who would have the time or desire to carefully arrange them in this display? And what is the reason behind it? Number 7. In June of 2009, mayflies completely took over East Peoria, Illinois, and they're not just in the air. Here, it sounds like these two friends are stepping across a gravel driveway rather than concrete. A sea of crushed bugs gushes from under the tires of this news van, creating one of the most nauseating sounds I've ever heard. Of course, these bugs find their way into the most unsavory of places and have no problem with flying from the trash can straight into your mouth. Still, a demise via news van tires seems a bit over the top. Number 6. A YouTuber named Exploring with Andy takes to a haunted house and makes it no further than the 2nd floor before discovering that they had made a bad mistake coming here. Tell me if you think this was a spirit or simply someone hiding off camera. Whoa. As they flee down the steps, this comes flying after them, followed by a woman's scream.
What the fuck?
I don't think this is fake because throwing something this heavy could seriously hurt them, not to mention the flying shards, and they are only standing a few feet away when it happens. They for some reason dare each other to climb up into the attic next.
Idioty.
Whatever was following them before waits until they are cornered in a cramped spot and then makes itself known. They barely get away and take one last look up into the attic, not quite believing what they just saw. Fake, there's a 50-50 chance that this one could be one of their friends dressed in all black. After all, I don't know why they would go into the attic after almost losing their lives on the stairs, but one thing is for sure, I wouldn't be brave enough to go there and find out for ourselves. Number 5, Pedro Rivera thinks he hears an odd noise coming from the hallway of his apartment, so he makes a video. Pay attention to this circled area just above the bike, because this one is about to get really weird. After 55 seconds, a white form appears out of nothingness and slowly gains clarity. By 1 minute and 10 seconds, it is changed into this grinning phantom face, black eyes and all. And when Pedro claims that he confronted his apartment manager with this video, they confess that multiple lives were lost in the apartment not long ago. Number 4, a paranormal investigation channel called Ghosts of Mississippi finds themselves standing in the kitchen of the haunted Wolf Manor, located in Clovis, California. Faces in the walls stalk them throughout the video, at least 2 that I can see. One appears no sooner than 5 seconds into the video, its mouth screaming soundlessly and then fading away. Can you see it? This next face looks far more evil and much less human. It's screaming as well and an upper row of sharp teeth. Do you see them too? Even if you didn't see them, you'll no doubt see this cross poke through the floor.
What the fuck?
Oh god. Oh god. Who's there?
What the fuck?
The video is grainy and could be edited, but it could just be the result of night vision as well. A cross moving through solid ground is really hard to believe on its own, but when coupled with the creepy faces, I guess anything could be possible. Number 3, a YouTube channel called Moxley's Crazy Adventures goes on a solo 3 a.m. challenge at a local farmhouse, whose owner is said to have mysteriously vanished. A homemade cross, a knitted robe, and these possible human remains all spell out a bad picture for whoever used to live here. Moxley wastes no time finding the creepiest room possible. Sets up next to a hole in the wall to ask questions. The farmer's body could be on the other side of this wall for all we know. Listen to this part and tell me if you hear a sound coming from the corner of the very same room he's in.
If you're the farmer, the previous owner of this place, and you did vanish,
Carvin's spottvåg på ditt planet.
This is your time. Whoa!
Eventually, Moxley travels to the other side of the hole and finds himself in a creepy enclosed room. Could somewhere in here be where the body was concealed? Before he has a chance to look around, this happens.
That was the spookiest thing. Whoa! Whoa! I'm out there.
En reklam.
Perhaps creepy as the ball.
8.35.
Is it 6 minutes and
3, 2, 1.
47 seconds? A strange presence makes Moxley's retch, and as he catches his breath, we see this faint movement in the doorway. Number 2, a YouTuber named C's Cray Crossroads visits an abandoned recreation center that's so haunted. He can only take a 30-minute challenge instead of the usual 24 hours. The first thing that I notice is a life-size doll laying face up, which is an automatic nope from me. But as is the case with most ghost investigators, the weirdness only makes him all the more intrigued, which is why he rushes forward when this happens. Just beyond where the orb appears is a flipped over table that could have been the source of the commotion.
Hello?
I think this corner of the room could be a paranormal gateway channeling restless spirits. He's standing right by the flip table, as shown by this yellow leg, when something else overturns. This is under a high-powered camera.
Yeah,
there's no screen to be seen. The doll that was on the ground before is now sitting in a chair. C tries to gather his thoughts, and a wire frame shelf comes flying at him. But an orb appears directly to his right, which makes me believe it's real. Also, what in the world is peeking around the corner? Actually, never mind. I'd rather not know.
What the fuck?
Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills, and if you're
Bet
curious
es
about
redzēju,
what I look like in real
šitā,
life,
bet
then go to my
viņam ir, tipā,
Instagram at
ir tāda video, kur viņam
DylanIsChillenYT
insane
and tap that follow
kur viņi,
button
bļāt,
to
nav fake.
find out. I recently
Tā,
released
kur
the number
skatāmies, zini,
15
kur ieja viņa
mixtape, but I
kanālā.
don't think you
Vēl
should follow
pēdējo,
these
Pagaidām, pēdējais.
instructions to check it
Pagaidi,
out.
pēdējais.
Vēl viens
It's a proven
palika.
fact that generosity makes you a happier
Viņš vēl beidzās.
person. So if you're generous enough to hit the subscribe button and the bell beside it, then thank you. Also, don't forget I
thank
upload a
you.
new video here on YouTube every Thursday and Saturday. Number 1.
Šos iemet.
A
Number
YouTube
one.
from Steven and
Nopietni.
Steph visit
Iemet nākamo.
Pagad 10,
Jā,
10:59.
3, 2,
1.
1.
the infamously haunted Whaley House in California and have a few different paranormal encounters, but this one sticks out the most. Okay, so check out the reflection of this picture frame at 4 minutes and 12 seconds. Nothing is there, right? Then, literally 5 seconds later, this guy slides into view. His blurry face is relatively featureless, but you can still make out the head and dark hairline low on the brow, perhaps a boy. Seconds later, he's gone. The room is sectioned off by rope. You can stand at the doorway, but no one else is allowed to step inside. Therefore, it can't be the reflection of a visitor, because as you can see, the room is empty. When the camera returns, there is another reflection.
What the fuck?
This one different than the last, and not in a good way. The person has blonde hair, black eyes, and most frightful
Freddy
of
Predator.
all,
Yeah.
an upturned sneer.
Jesus.
Airlines
No,
do
him,
their
not cool.
best to
Redzēju.
keep you and your family
No.
safe, but
Tu
when
gal
something
nenoskaties?
actually does go
Nē,
wrong in the
es domāju, ka
Tagad-
līdzās jau.
Tagad es tev teicu, ka tas nav pēdējais.
Tagad es iešu apsīties ātri. Tā.
Kur tu iemet musarā?
Cik ko tu teici?
Don't watch
Neskaties video, jūs ejat gulēt.
Nu, jā, tā tam jā.
Nē,
Tāpēc jau es tādu paņēmu.
tā kā ir.
Jūs sakat, kad sākam.
Nav 3, 2. Bet jūs izslēdzāties jau?
Jā, jā.
Jūs uzspied, vēlreiz. 2, 1.
Don't watch this video if you are planning on going to
Šalis
sleep
vienkārši
anytime
draugs palagā,
soon.
ja sarunāja
You might
līdzi.
stay up all night wide awake, hoping these videos weren't real. Number
What?
16, a YouTuber named Sammy Pena is waiting in the car alone when a total stranger walks up and tries to open all of her doors. I think this is far from an honest mistake, because listen to how hard he pulls on the handle. He was really hoping that someone didn't shut their door all the way. But the real giveaway is how he doesn't even try to unlock the driver's door. He probably knows from experience that this door is almost always locked and not worth bothering with. Between her tinted windows and sunglasses, he seems not to notice anyone's in the back seat at all. He casually walks away empty-handed, at least until someone forgets to lock their doors. Number 15. This spooky midnight sighting is quickly becoming known as the ghost boy under the stairs.
Stupid boy think that I need him.
Walking across the camera. But what's weird is how
Predator
it seems
streamo?
to stay confined
Jā.
to the area under the steps. Then,
Bet
at
man šo
15
streamu nobanos, man
seconds,
liekas.
it reaches the farthest corner and
Par bom.
vanishes. Take a look again and tell me if you think this is real or special effects.
Kurš
The
redzēs?
person who uploaded this video says they didn't believe in the supernatural until seeing this at their job. Number 14.
Yeah.
This elderly man is on a ventilator and battling for his very life. His daughter and 2 grandchildren gather around to offer encouragement and pay their respects. After requesting some privacy from the doctors, one of the grandchildren pulls out an inheritance contract from under his clothes, and they threaten the grandfather into signing. Having forced themselves into his will, the daughter next reaches down and unscrews his heart IV in a matter of seconds. She does this in the direct sight of the other grandson, so he must have known too. They all gather around to watch the old man slowly weaken. Judging from how the other grandchild looks over his shoulder at the 2-minute mark, there's no doubt he knew what they were
What
doing.
the fuck?
Everyone here looks guilty. When medical staff come in to check what's wrong, the suspects all slip out one by one. It wasn't until later when staff reviewed the CCTV footage that they were able to piece together this family plot of betrayal and bring them all to justice. And yes, the man did thankfully survive. Number 13. A YouTuber named Sanjay K. is traveling the countryside in India when he comes across a phantom figure dressed in an all-white shroud.
Yeah.
It covers its face. It pays them absolutely no attention as it crosses the road with no lantern in hands.
Tur vienkārši čalis ar palagviedu, bļa. Noteikti čalis vienkārši pa nakti, bļa, izdomāja pafilmēt, kā viņš brauc pa mežu.
With its face covered is beyond me. Listen to this part and translate if you speak the language so that we all know what they were thinking at the time.
Sanjay
So tell me whether or not they sound like they are really scared. Also tell me whether or not they sound like they really are scared or just acting.
Тишко от индиански език е Твиттерит.
YouTuber named
Ali Hiko.
says they were watching Game of Thrones when
What
they
the fuck?
noticed this little girl staring into their home with a blank expression.
Dajme čabo teba.
Does not seem to be trying to get anyone's attention and seems perfectly content with staring straight ahead into a stranger's home on Christmas, judging by the decorated tree. The YouTuber says that there is an explanation for this video. Doesn't go into any more detail. Maybe they will still remember what happened all these years later. Number 11.
Izskaties pēc kaut kāda Photoshop, kad vienkārši seja pie.
On the bus to capture this paranormal activity.
Čalis pie loga iet un
Snapshot and tell me how this is even possible with no one around.
Jā, diedziņi.
Afterwards, he claims to see two faces in the window, something which apparently happens often, and I actually see what he means. These are its eyes, and here its nose. The rest of its face is hidden from view, because it's peeking in. Same with the window beside it. Number 10. This ghost video from a bus station in Sydney, Australia, has everyone convinced it's real. Even the camera equipment itself. A shadowy mist floats across the upper right monitor, and soon motion tracking equipment puts a bright orange box around it to confirm. It eventually floats off the monitor, at which point it should show up on the other monitor to the left, but nothing appears. The motion sensor tries to track it for a bit longer and then gives up. It has simply vanished. Number 9. A reporter from Huff Paranormal sets up a motion-activated camera under their bed, which they suspect is haunted. When they get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, they record the bed shaking. The only explanation I have is that an unseen person is shaking it from the other side. Other than that possibility, this is definitely paranormal. Moments later, a raspy, unseen voice confirms he's leaving. Listen to this part and tell me if you hear it, or if you hear it say something else. Number 8. A YouTuber named Sarah Elizabeth brings some friends to search for ghosts at the Columbia State Park in California. When they start hearing weird noises, they think it could be an old water pump turning on, but I'm not so sure. So you tell me what this is.
45 degrees out, so it's pretty cold. What is that sound?
Later, they are walking down a historic street when they get a bad feeling about one of the houses. These historic houses are empty, and no one has lived in them for quite some time. Check out the curtains here at the 10-minute mark. Notice how they are pretty much closed. Now look again, and 15 seconds later, you'll see they do appear to be open much wider this time.
Doesn't that curtain look like it's moving? Over there?
Finally, as they look out onto the old creepy street, their camera picks up this nearby growl. They don't seem to hear it until later, but tell me if you can. Number 7. A YouTuber named Leo Tran is challenged to throw a plastic bottle cap into a trash bag from across the room. At 1 minute into the video, you can see something is out of the ordinary, but at 1 minute and 23 seconds, you can see a small face pop up in the window. The small face stays in the window for approximately 33 seconds and ducks out of the way when Leo goes to collect the trash bag. Does this look real or edited to you? Number 6, a YouTuber from San Antonio, Texas, named Dylan James TV records a deep moan that fills the night sky. Take a listen and give me your best guess as to what this mysterious noise could be.
Moskva, Moskva.
After a while, it grows closer and louder until the sound breaks directly overhead, yet nothing is visible. What's especially strange is the comments for this video. Other people from as far as Florida admittedly claim to have heard this exact same noise. Apparently it happens for 5 minutes at a time, at which point it stops as abruptly as it began. Number 5. It's been a little while since I've analyzed a Michael D. McGee video, and this capture is simply too good to not talk about. For the past 10 minutes, he has been hearing loud footsteps up the stairs. Tell me if you think this is real or sound effects from a speaker in the other room. Michael flings open the door and finds no one there. If you have headphones, listen to this part and tell me if the footsteps really come from the bottom of the stairway. They certainly sound real to me. Sylvia Nicholas has a motion sensor camera that turned on momentarily to catch this strange airborne entity as indicated by the green box. Take a look again in slow motion and tell me if this was a spiritoid, a giant speck of dust, a bug, or something else altogether. Number 3, Tyler Heitzen is bored in math class when he notices a ceiling panel going berserk all by itself. None of the other ones are moving except this one, though I can't say why. I know it can't be a fan blowing or anything like that, because the Snapchat audio is very clear. Take a listen. If this is real, like he says, then I think it might be time for Tyler to transfer classes, and maybe even school. Number 2, this home surveillance video shows a round transparent object dart across someone's front yard.
Tev ieietēšu ten mūsu WhatsApp grupā skatīties, kā man bija vasarā.
Mums varēja jāklausās.
Dzirdi?
Čau, tev tur, es tā vai tā vārvāktos.
Es jau biju samīsies tajā brīdī.
Davai.
Viņa iekšpusē dzirdēju.
Tu esi pats mājās bija?
Jā, nē.
Jā,
nē. Es nezinu.
Es neizmirsu.
Labi, davai, 3, 2, 1.
Cik jums vispār ir laiks?
3, 2, 7.
Wow, whatever this is supposed to be glares at
the camera without moving, and when I zoom in, I think those might be horns. Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills, and if you're curious about what I look like in real life, go to my Instagram at...
Taņa tā reklāma, bļaļ, minūti.
1 pa 20.
Jā.
3, 2, 1.
Number 1.
Number
These
one.
explorers are
Çok
checking
odun.
out a haunted church in Britain called St. Botuf's Church, which is said to be
Abi,
guarded by the spirit
Getir
of
bu
a
sauc
passed away
paranormal
monk.
mesar turais
The
braucsim.
weather is fine at first, but within a minute of stepping out of the car, it becomes cloudy and gray, as if to signify they do not belong here. Here at 2 minutes and 34 seconds, you can see everyone standing outside as they peruse the cemetery, and it isn't until 2 minutes and 47 seconds that they go inside. With this in mind, tell me how they record this shadow figure walk across the church
Yeah,
at 2
yeah.
minutes and 22 seconds, a full 20 seconds before any of them enter.
Şöyle
Try
draugs
to
here,
put
guys.
yourself in these situations and ask a simple question. Do you make it out alive, or do you succumb to the uncertainty of your own racing heart?
Давай.
Tu viss
Pēdīgi, kur tavs streams ir? Kur tu streamo?
YouTube'ā.
Kā tev sauc?
Tāpat kā mani sauc. Tā kā pasē rakstīts.
Pizdiec.
Emīls Matīs.
Nē, vēl pēdējo.
Kur tu skaties?
Lūdzu. Davai es iemetu vēl Kristap pēdējais.
Kāds man tevi nerāda? Kā tev niks ir?
Man mani nopanoja.
Kāds tev niks ir? Kāds man tevi nerāda?
Emils.Matīs.
Re, kur musarā iemetīšu.
Kā tev niks ir?
Man mani nopanoja.
Kāds tev niks ir?
Emils.Matīs.
Re, kur musarā iemetīšu.
Davai pēdējo.
TikTokus?
There's
Jā, tur izsījās baismīgi. Nu,
Paidi. Kā man rāda
more on TikTok than just people dancing, and these TikToks will
sakiet, kad
really
sākiem.
Fuck. Pagad.
Nu?
Pagad.
There,
Trīs, divi, viens.
there's more on TikTok than just people dancing, and these TikToks will really freak you out. Number 18, a TikTok user
Please do it.
named Look Desions For You is obsessed with summoning spirits, and this time it really might have worked. He says something in the mirror, and then this wide-eyed fiend appears right behind him, only to vanish when he turns around. At first it looks like it might have been somebody standing on the other side of the mirror, but when the light hits them, you can tell they are both in the same room. Later, he is looking down a hall through a hole in the door, where the knob once was. I want you to remember the unique shape of this water pattern, because it is going to be important later. Okay, so he is looking down the hall.
Jā, blē.
Okay.
A second look through the hole reveals nothing, and when he turns around, he is shocked to find he is in the exact same hall he was just looking down. Water pattern and all. It's like he teleported. Number 17. It's literally raining like never before in this video. A quick look up reveals a cloudy sky and little else. Certainly nothing to explain why this small patch of street is getting all wet. Numerous people look up expecting to see a source, and are surprised to see none. Nobody is carrying an umbrella, because, well, it isn't raining, at least not where they are standing. Number 16. A TikTok user named Sam Pepper is
shit,
getting
that's-
ready to
that's
do the
so cute, well, I mean-
YMCA, when a strange shape forms on the wall. It's only there for an instant, but in that brief split second, I can see a face and bald head. The eyes are empty, mouth pulled into a tight frown, then it's gone. Number 15. So far, we've seen many potentially haunted houses in these TikToks, but nothing compares to the paranormal events that happened in Alex Huff's videos. She's filming a makeup tutorial in her room when a noise interrupts her. It's the creaking of her closet door opening. Even though nobody is near the door, all of a sudden when she gets up to inspect the closet, it slams shut and the light above her shuts off in an instant. For further proof, she also films inside the closet to prove no one is inside. Based on her reaction, I would guess that this video is 100% real. She genuinely looks terrified after these events takes place. So either she is talented at acting, or this house is haunted by something nefarious. Number 14, a TikTok user named Black Tipped is out fishing when he catches something he has never seen before, and that makes two of us. Some people are speculating that this is the severed tentacle of a much larger creature.
We're out here fishing in the deep blue, and this is what we just caught. Look at this thing.
He does say he is in the middle of the deep sea, so I guess anything is possible. He apparently has no fear of being shocked, bitten, or worse, as he analyzes the object with no protective gloves. Number 13. Sav and Jack records what they claim is a genuine 3 a.m. paranormal encounter. Sav wakes up after a bad dream with a strange urge to check on Jack. She says she is feeling some weird energy when suddenly
picking up on this weird energy.
Her phone picks up an eerie entity that disappears upon being discovered. Watch this part and tell me if you think it's editing. It's a little suspicious how she centers the camera perfectly on the area where the ghost is to appear moments before it happens, so some people think it might not be real. Number 12. This man, known as the Buddy, was one of the most popular users on the TikTok community. His dances were funny at first, but as he gained popularity, the videos became kind of more, well, I guess bold would be one word you could use. According to unverified rumors, the following video was allegedly sent to someone who is not of age. Watch this and tell me if you think this is an appropriate way to use TikTok, because I definitely do not.
I mean, you're the cute one here, not me, so...
He was reportedly banned for life from the TikTok community for violating their terms of service, but apparently he still has active accounts on other platforms. Number 11. KT Camp records her overhead lights swaying back and forth. They start out moving clockwise, but at the end of the video, they are starting to move the other way. Maybe she twisted up the cord on purpose to make it do this, but that doesn't explain the orbs. There's an especially large one here that is different from the others in size, shape, and speed as well. Real haunting or just a fake attempt in a dusty kitchen? You tell me. Number 10. This TikTok user has no dancing or lip syncing, just a creepy room with whispering voices on the other end of a white door with no knob. The lack of a knob does not stop some force from opening and closing the door. The door is fully shut and you can even hear the latch unclick here. Finally, with absolutely no edits or cuts, the person recording gets up to reveal a small closet with just clothes inside. Number 9. This TikTok video taken somewhere in India shows a mystery hidden within a window on the first floor. Are the curtains partially pulled back, or is a figure looking out of a window late at night for no reason at all? A high-powered flashlight is directly on them, yet there is no detail except for its odd outline. Number 8. A TikTok user named Dixon83 catches a paranormal experience in the kitchen, which he had suspected was haunted for some time. His suspicions are confirmed when his cat trots through and the closest cabinet door swings open by itself, followed by what I think is a heavy exhale. His cat is definitely looking directly into the cabinet at something unseen. Tell me what you think it was. Number 7. Paul DeJesus says that he literally quit his security job after witnessing this while on surveillance. First, a tire rolls into view, which I guess someone could have done out of frame, but then a backpack falls off a chair. It could have been attached to a string, but the video is too low quality to tell for certain, so I'll leave it up to you. Number 6. Caitlin Raquel is alone in her room when this shadow passes through her room without passing over her. Her hands are not covered by the shadow, even though it walks directly in front of her. Number 5. Look what happens when this ghost investigator decides to confront the spirit of a person who supposedly took another man's life in this room.
Did you shoot that man? Did you shoot him because you were scared?
A pale figure peeks out from the doorway. As soon as its presence is called upon, no one seems to notice, probably because it was so low. Is this the spirit they are looking for, or just some light hitting the hall at a weird angle? Number 4.
Okay guys, some weird stuff has been happening in my room, and I feel like I need to document this.
Safi B has a collection of haunted dolls that seem to have been moving on their own. She explains how no one can be going inside to move them because she keeps her door locked during the day, and after she's finished, she hears this noise.
I haven't told you guys this, but like lately I've been hearing my door rattle, and it's like...
The movement is not coming from the door, but rather from somewhere deeper within the room, which she has clearly shown to be empty, except for her and her dolls, and soon she finds her answer.
No.
A solid black Ouija pointer falls off the shelf and lands pointing at her dolls. Number 3. A TikTok user named Sean records his friend as he sleeps to prove that he is possessed. He sleeps with his hands crossed, and then his drawer slides open. I don't see anything pulling it open, do you? Next, a Gatorade bottle slides off the dresser. At the exact same moment, his friend rolls over and moves away from him. So he's not holding a string, and I don't think Sean is either. Eventually, Sean comes out of the bathroom, only to find his friend huddled in the corner. 2 orbs glide past, one perfectly vertical with his frame, and then the video ends. Number 2, Nick Samino, 68, works at a yogurt shop that he and all of his fellow co-workers know is haunted.
That shop was both insane.
At times
It's
it's like
not
a
a
ghost is
cool
waiting to
skaveta.
contradict everything
Could
he
have said that was
says.
full name.
This? Well, I think I stopped it. Did I stop it? No, I didn't. I didn't stop it. And now it stopped. Good.
The problem extends far beyond faulty wiring. No sooner does he mention he's all alone before this happens from somewhere above. Again, perfect timing.
This is my security cameras. There's no one here, so I don't understand.
On a different night, he and a coworker stay late to observe all of the strange happenings. Just when they announce they are about to leave, the spirit gets angry and punishes them for their departure.
It's so dark because all the light switches are over here.
Stop it! Stop it!
And when they turn to take one last look at the store, they find the overhead lights swinging wildly. Now here's where I get freaked out. If you think they started swinging the lamps themselves before they started recording, let me show you this part from the very beginning of the video. It's the security monitor, and as you can see, the lights are all completely still. The video is only about a minute long and has no edits, so there's just no way they did it themselves. Before we get to number 1,
my
name is Chills.
My name is Chills, and if you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to number 1. Tiangarines wants to make this TikTok ghost sighting go viral. Whatever is happening behind her is not something crossing the balcony. It can't be. The shadow does not emerge from the doorway, but rather appears on the wall. Therefore, it can only be the shadow of a real person walking across the doorway, or an apparition appearing out of nowhere. Stress often catches you by surprise.
Se on ruoskasti Kāpēc valmuuttanut?
belong to gang with the mob. What would you think?
Ой, ten byť dávaj.
Saki?
Mám doj. Dávaj. Dávaj.
Tällöin Skeron mainits Kendricks Nuns alkuisessa laukkumaan feed-sastāvā.